Imagine this. You walk into a room, no cameras, no sensors, no wearables, but somehow, the system still knows where you are, how you're moving, even whether you're breathing. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, a new open-source project called RuView is showing that it might actually be possible, using nothing more than Wi-Fi signals. And when the project appeared on GitHub, it exploded overnight. Some researchers are now calling it Wi-Fi radar for the internet. So what exactly is going on here? And could the Wi-Fi network around you become one giant sensing system? Let's break it down. Part 1. The problem with cameras. Today, almost every smart system relies on cameras. Security cameras, smart home cameras, autonomous car cameras, computer vision systems. But cameras come with three huge problems. First, privacy. A camera records everything. Second, lighting conditions. Dark room, cameras struggle. Third, line of sight. If something blocks the view, the system can't see anything. That's why researchers have been exploring an alternative for years. Radio signals. Signals like Wi-Fi behave very differently than light. They can travel through walls, reflect off objects, bounce off human bodies. And that's where RuView comes in. Part 2. Who created RuView? RuView was created by tech entrepreneur Reuven Cohen. The project was released as open source on GitHub, allowing developers around the world to experiment with it. The idea behind the project is simple but powerful. Turn ordinary Wi-Fi signals into a sensing system. Instead of cameras watching people, Wi-Fi signals would detect movement and presence, and once developers realized what it could do, the repository started spreading across AI communities. Part 3. How Wi-Fi can detect humans. To understand RuView, we need to understand something called channel state information. Every Wi-Fi signal travels through space and interacts with the environment. Walls reflect it, furniture scatters it, and human bodies absorb part of it. So when someone moves inside a room, the Wi-Fi signal pattern changes slightly. Normally these tiny changes are ignored, but RuView analyzes them using AI. Here's a simplified version of the pipeline. Step 1. The Wi-Fi router sends signals through the room. Step 2. Those signals bounce off objects and people. Step 3. The receiver measures tiny changes in the signal pattern. Step 4. Machine learning models interpret those changes. From that signal data, the system can estimate things like human presence, movement direction, body position, breathing motion. Yes, even breathing. Because when a person breathes, their chest moves slightly. That tiny motion changes the reflection pattern of the Wi-Fi waves, and AI can detect it. Part 4. The Wi-Fi radar idea. This is why researchers are comparing RuView to radar. Traditional radar works like this. A system sends out radio waves. Those waves bounce off objects, and the system analyzes the reflections. RuView is doing something very similar, but instead of specialized radar equipment, it uses ordinary Wi-Fi routers, and that leads to a crazy idea. Imagine millions of routers around the world becoming sensors, not just internet devices, but environment awareness systems. This could create something entirely new, a global network of wireless sensing infrastructure. Part 5. Real-world use cases. Let's talk about what this technology could actually do. Smart homes. Your home could detect which room you're in, whether someone fell. Unusual movement patterns, all without cameras. Elderly care. Wi-Fi sensing could detect falls, breathing irregularities, long periods of inactivity. This could help caregivers monitor health remotely. Security systems. Instead of motion sensors, buildings could use Wi-Fi sensing to detect intruders, movement behind walls, hidden occupants. Smart buildings. Office buildings could analyze occupancy patterns, room usage, crowd flow, helping optimize energy and space usage. Search and rescue. In disaster scenarios, Wi-Fi sensing could potentially detect people trapped inside buildings, even if they are behind debris or walls. Part 6. Why RuView went viral. There are 3 reasons RuView exploded online. First, perfect timing. AI models for signal processing have improved dramatically. Second, cheap hardware. Devices like ESP32 Wi-Fi boards make experimentation easy. Third, open source. Because RuView is on GitHub, developers everywhere can test and modify the system. And when open source developers start experimenting with something powerful, innovation spreads extremely fast. Part 7, the big privacy debate. Of course, technology like this raises serious questions. If Wi-Fi signals can detect people, could systems monitor individuals without their knowledge? Supporters say this technology is actually more private than cameras because it doesn't record images. Critics argue the opposite, because sensing systems could potentially track people without visible devices. So as this technology develops, regulation and ethics will become important. RuView is still an early experiment, but it reveals something fascinating. The wireless signals already surrounding us might one day allow computers to perceive the physical world, not through cameras, but through the invisible radio waves filling the air. And if that idea scales, the internet might not just connect the world, it might sense it too.